Have you ever wondered who the ingenious mind behind the creation of the sewing machine was? Let's take a trip back in time to the end of the 18th century. It was in the year 1790 when a British inventor named Thomas Saint patented the first sewing machine design. Yes, that's right, the birth of the sewing machine dates back over 200 years ago. Now let's picture Thomas Saint's creation. We might imagine a machine that's somewhat similar to the ones we use today, but that's not quite the case. Saint's machine was designed specifically for stitching leather and canvas, materials far more rugged than the delicate fabrics we often associate with sewing today. So, how did it work? Well, the original design had a hand crank mechanism, not too dissimilar to the machines we see today. The operator would turn the crank, and the machine would create a chain stitch. But there's a twist. Unlike today's machines that use 2 threads, Saint's machine used only 1. The needle would push the thread through the material, creating a loop on the other side. Then, as the needle was retracted, the loop was secured to form a stitch. Ingenious, right? However, there's a bit of a mystery here. While we know Thomas Saint was granted a patent for his design, there's no concrete evidence that he actually built his machine. The first functional version of his design wasn't made until the 20th century, almost 150 years later. But whether Saint built his machine or not, his design laid the groundwork for the sewing machines of the future. His innovative concept of a mechanical device for sewing was a spark that ignited a revolution in the textile industry, forever changing the way we make clothes and so much more. So, the journey of the sewing machine started with Thomas Saint's innovative design, but it did not stop there. From a hand crank mechanism to a pedal-operated machine, how did the transition occur? The journey of the sewing machine's evolution is as riveting as its invention. The leap from a hand crank method to a pedal-operated machine was a significant milestone, and it all began in the early 19th century. Imagine the year is 1830. A French tailor named Barthélemy Timonier steps into the limelight. He had a vision, a dream to revolutionize the garment industry. And he did just that by introducing the world to the pedal-operated sewing machine. Timonier's invention was a game-changer. It was a machine designed to be operated by a foot pedal, freeing the seamstress's hands to guide the fabric. This was a far cry from the laborious process of hand sewing or even the hand crank mechanism that preceded it. The pedal-operated machine brought speed and efficiency to the process of sewing, dramatically increasing the productivity of France's garment industry. But Timonier's innovation was met with resistance. His invention was seen as a threat by traditional tailors, who feared the loss of their livelihoods. In a turn of events that seems almost surreal today, a mob of French tailors stormed Timonier's factory, destroying his machines in a fit of rage and fear. Yet the story didn't end there. Despite the setbacks, the destruction of his machines, and the hostility from the traditional tailoring community, Timonier didn't give up. His pedal-operated sewing machine concept was far too revolutionary to be forgotten. And so, the evolution of the sewing machine continued. It was not an easy journey, nor a straightforward one. It was filled with ups and downs, triumphs and failures. But, like any good story, it was the challenges that made the victories even sweeter. Timonier's pedal-operated machine marked the beginning of an era of innovation and transformation that would forever change the world of sewing. Despite the setbacks, the evolution of the sewing machine was unstoppable. And as we'll see in the next chapter, this was only the beginning. Did you know that some of the biggest sewing machine companies today had their roots in the 19th century? Let's take a trip back in time and discover the fascinating origins of these companies. One of the most notable names in the industry is the Singer Sewing Company. Founded in 1851, this company revolutionized the sewing machine industry. Isaac Singer, a bold and innovative entrepreneur, saw the potential in these machines and set out to make them a household staple. Singer's vision was not just to create a machine that could sew, he wanted to make them affordable and accessible. His inventive spirit led to the introduction of installment payment plans, a concept that was unheard of at the time. This made it possible for families, regardless of their income, to own a sewing machine. He wasn't just selling machines. He was selling the idea of convenience and efficiency in the comfort of one's home. But Singer was not alone in this new frontier. Another key player emerged on the scene, the Howe Machine Company, founded by Elias Howe, another brilliant inventor and a significant competitor to Singer. Howe was not just a businessman. He was a visionary who held one of the earliest patents for a sewing machine. His design, with its lock-stitch mechanism, became a core component of future machines. The rivalry between Singer and Howe was more than just a business competition. It was a race for innovation. Their relentless pursuit of improvement and refinement led to the advancement of sewing machines, making them faster, more reliable, and easier to use. These industry pioneers not only shaped the sewing machine industry, but also transformed the fabric of society. They brought about a new era of domestic convenience and industrial efficiency, forever changing the way we make and mend our clothes. These industry pioneers set the stage for modern sewing, but the journey was far from over. How did the sewing machines transform in the 20th century, and how did it impact our lives? Let's dive right into it. The 20s were roaring, and the sewing machine industry was no exception. The Singer Company, a name synonymous with sewing machines, introduced the first electric sewing machines in this era. This was a significant leap from the manual machines of the past. Suddenly, sewing was less about muscle and more about creativity. This technological advance brought a host of improvements. One of the most notable was the introduction of zigzag stitching, a feature that allowed for more intricate designs and stronger seams. This was a game changer, opening up a world of possibilities for fashion designers and home crafters alike. And the innovations didn't stop there. As the century progressed, sewing machines became more and more sophisticated. Automatic features started cropping up, like automatic buttonholers that could create perfect buttonholes at the touch of a button. Imagine that. No more fiddling around trying to get the size and shape just right. These advancements weren't just about making sewing easier, though that was a significant benefit. They also allowed for a higher level of precision and consistency in the finished products. This had a profound impact on the fashion industry. Suddenly, it was possible to produce garments at a faster pace, without compromising on quality. But the impact wasn't confined to the fashion industry. These advances also brought about a revolution in home crafting. With the advent of electric sewing machines, sewing became more accessible, and a whole lot more fun. This sparked a surge in DIY crafts, transforming countless hobbies and even launching some careers. It's fascinating to see how a simple tool like the sewing machine can have such a profound impact. From revolutionizing the fashion industry to transforming home crafting, the 20th century was a time of great change and innovation in the world of sewing machines. The wonders of technology, right? And just wait until we dive into the modern miracles of the 21st century. What does the modern sewing machine look like, and how far have we come from the original design? Today's sewing machines are a far cry from the rudimentary hand-powered devices of yesteryear. They are sleek, sophisticated, and brimming with technology. Imagine a sewing machine with a computer brain, complete with an LCD screen, LED lights, and hundreds of stitch options. This is the reality of the modern sewing machine. These technological wonders are not just for show. The LCD screen allows you to select your stitch of choice, adjust stitch length and width, and even preview your design before you start. This takes the guesswork out of sewing, making it easier and more enjoyable. LED lights are another brilliant addition. They illuminate the workspace, providing a clear view of every stitch. This is particularly useful when working with dark fabrics or intricate designs. And let's talk about the stitch options. The modern sewing machine boasts hundreds of built-in stitches for every conceivable task. From basic straight and zigzag stitches for mending and construction, to decorative stitches for embellishment, and heirloom stitches for vintage designs. It's like having an entire sewing studio at your fingertips. The modern sewing machine also caters to a range of needs. Whether you are a beginner dabbling in basic mending, an intermediate sewer exploring creative possibilities, or a seasoned pro creating intricate embroidery, there's a machine for you. These machines are not just functional, they're user-friendly too. Even with all their bells and whistles, modern sewing machines are designed for ease of use. Features such as automatic needle threading, bobbin winding, and tension control make sewing a breeze. From the hand crank mechanism of the 18th century to today's computerized marvels, the sewing machine has indeed come a long way. It's a testament to human innovation and our constant pursuit of making life easier. And as we look to the future, who knows what further advancements await us in the world of sewing? The only thing that's certain is that the humble sewing machine will continue to evolve, continue to inspire, and continue to sew the fabric of our lives.